So I haven't made a video in quite some time, but I um I felt the need to record today because I have been going through a lot. And there are so many lessons that I have been learning, not just about myself, but about people and about my children and just about life in general. And I felt it was time to come back on here and share about just some of the things that I have been going through. So, I don't know where I'm going to start. I'm just going to kind of just let it flow. And so, lately, life has been literally kicking my ass, like kicking it, right? And I have been doing my best to stay extremely positive, and it's not easy because I'm learning that you can't always be positive. You can't always be like uplifted and high spirits because life really does life. And when it happens, it takes you to a place sometimes that you just can't figure out how to get out of there. And so when I say I have been under so much spiritual warfare and just attack and just redirection and reflection and just baby, it's been real. It's been real. So I thank God that I am not broken through this process. And so I don't know what I'm going to title this message or what I'm going to label this message is, but I'm definitely going to just share because I feel like my life is a testament to other people's lives and their experiences. And so yesterday I had made a short and it was like crash out, right? Like a crash out. I was talking about crash out and I was like, people get mad or they label people as crash outs because of, them going off and blowing up and things of that nature. But what I have learned about this whole process, it's okay to crash out sometimes. Sometimes you have to. And when a person crashes out, it's not because they're wanting to crash out. It's because their feelings are involved. It's because they have an overflow or an abundance of emotion and they don't know how to regulate or express it or respond besides blowing up. They blow their top. And so for me, this week, I've been blowing my top. However, it hasn't been like an explosive blowing of my top, but been of an emotional blowing of my top. And I wanted to record this video because I just felt like it would be important to people to understand that it's okay to have weak moments. It's okay to break down. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Like I teach my kids and my students, because I'm a teacher, I teach my kids and my students that it is okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling inside. What's not okay is how you react or respond to those feelings. And a crash out or crashing out is in essence you reacting or responding to those feelings. And what I'm learning is that sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes you have to have a release of sorts. And for me, I'm not big on releasing. Like I hold a lot of stuff in and I keep stuff close to the chest. And what God is showing me is that you don't have to. You don't have to always keep everything to yourself. You don't always have to be afraid to share or express your feelings or express yourself or to allow yourself to be vulnerable or to allow yourself to feel broken because sometimes we're broken. Like nobody on this planet that I know is a robot. Not a humanoid robot. Like because like realistically, like when you think about, just life in itself, like if I tell y'all like pretty much let me break it down to you like this. When I say life is lifing. I've had bills coming out the yin yang. I've had my son going through episodes. I've had my own personal feelings being like, roller coaster and played with. I've had outside sources wanting to actually help, and then I'm not even knowing how to allow them to help me because of pride. So it's just like I'm learning. It's just like, but it's all happening at one time. So, like, my point of me saying all this is to say that God never gives you more than you can handle. Whether you feel like you can handle it or not, when you're in the midst of the storm and you're going through what you're going through, you're not thinking about anything else besides what you're actually going through because it's so much and it can be overwhelming and it can be, just to the point where you just screaming, and you want to pull your hair out, or you just want to give up, or you just want to throw the towel in. That is where you have to find your peace. Finding peace in the chaos, focusing on the good and not the bad. And I promise you, baby, when I tell you it was so much stuff going on, I broke down. I cried this week. I've cried every day this week, in fact. Every day this week, I have shed some tears. Tears of just sadness, tears of just wondering why, tears of just wanting to give up, tears of just defeat, and then tears of happiness, and tears of relief, and tears of understanding, and tears of compassion, and tears of why, just why, right? And so I'm learning that one, people are going to be people. You cannot change people. You cannot expect of people what you would expect of yourself. You also have to understand that people are who they are. So you have to take them as they are and be adaptable and deal with them accordingly. You also have to learn to trust. That's been like the most difficult thing I can honestly say that I have to deal with is trusting. My son is crashing out right now. I don't even know if y'all can hear him. Like, he's really crashing out right now. Hold on a second. I had a day. And it was a perfect example. I should have just recorded the whole damn thing in the first place. So my son is playing a video game, and this is relevant. It makes sense to what I was talking about. My son is playing a video game, and in the video game, it's like an online platform, and anybody can do whatever they want to do in that online platform. They can flip, jump, sky, whatever. They can kill you. They can blow your little person up, whatever. They can do whatever they want to do in this platform. And that's the same thing in life. People can do whatever they want to do in life. They can say what they want to say to you. They can act how they want to act to you. They can respond how they want to respond to you. It's your job to be responsible for you and your reaction and your response to the things that happen to you or around you. So what I've learned in this week and what I'm learning in this week is that I cannot control people and I don't want to. I have to have realistic expectations about people and who they are and what they are and how they react and how to respond and give myself grace and give those others grace. I went to Bible study on Tuesday and the lesson was about loving one another as we love ourselves, right? And it's the same thing I was explaining to my son just now because he was getting so frustrated and upset. He was crashing out over this video game because the little person in the video game keeps attacking him and hurting him. He's like, well, I don't understand why he keeps doing that. People do things to you and you don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's not for you to understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's for you to understand yourself in the process of it. It's for you to understand how to react and respond accordingly. It's for you to understand how to take a deep breath and calm down. It's for you to understand what you're supposed to be learning in that moment. It's for you to understand how you're supposed to actually behave in that moment. God is always teaching you a lesson, and I'm learning that. No matter what's going on, you're always learning something. Life is always teaching you something. So if you're crashing out because you're not paying attention. You're not learning something you're supposed to be learning. You have reached a level of plateau where you're just over the whole process, over the whole situation, and you have lost sight and you've lost focus of the why, basically, of why you're there, of why things are transpiring the way they transpire. And there's a reason why things are going down the way they're going down. Right? So I'll be a little bit even more transparent. My son decided he wanted to hurt himself at school. Right? It happens. Kids get emotional and they don't always understand their feelings, so they act them out. People do the same thing. Human beings do the same thing. I myself have personally done it. I went to a point in my life, I got to a point in my life where things were so dark and I couldn't see the light and I didn't want it to happen no more. I wanted to find the light, even if that meant me ending my shit so I could find the light at the end of the tunnel because I was over it. Right? I was done. I didn't want to do this shit no more. I was, right? What I learned in that process was like, oh, wait, God, you were trying to show me something and I wasn't paying attention to it. Source, you were trying to open my eyes to something I wasn't allowing myself to be enlightened to it. Right? And what I had to learn was to love myself and to love myself unconditionally and to love others unconditionally, despite what they do or why they do it. We do not know why people walk on the journeys that they walk on or why people do the things they do. It's not for us to understand their journey. It's not for us to understand their thought process. It's not for us to understand their feelings. Yes, we can empathize and we can empathize and sympathize and those things of that nature for another person or another individual or for another being. However, you also have to remember to understand the whole space for yourself and remember the journey that you yourself are walking. All right. You got to understand why God is taking you through the things that he's taking you through. As the scripture says, I knew you as you were knit in the womb. I knew you before you even came into volition. So I knew everything you was going to do before you do it. I knew everything you was going to say before you said it. I knew everything you was going to think before you thought it. Right. So if it came into your mind and you thought the shit or you thought it or you brought it up, once you think it, you've already sent that energy out into the atmosphere, or you already sent that energy or that vibrational frequency out into the universe. Now it's your job to act accordingly to respond to it. Because everything that you send out comes back. And it can come back tenfold, sevenfold, or fivefold, however. Whatever the intensity of the energy or the emotion that you had at the time when you sent that vibrational frequency out, that signal out, it's going to come back to you. And it's your job to act accordingly or respond accordingly. And what I'm learning is that you're always being tested. The universe is always testing you. God is always testing you to see if you have actually grown, evolved, or changed. If you're actually able to master or manage your thoughts. If you're actually able to master or manage your heart. If you're actually able to master or manage your voice and the words that you choose to speak and the things you choose to pay attention to and the things you choose to listen to and the things you choose to actually physically do. Right? So when I say people be crashing out, you're a crash out, don't be a crash out. It's okay to crash out because sometimes you have to crash out because crashing out allows you to recognize and say, whoa, wait a minute. This is where I was triggered. This is where I needed help. This is where I wasn't paying attention. This is where I needed somebody to pick up the pieces for me. This is where I needed to stand in the gap for myself. Or this is where I needed to stand in the gap for somebody else or whatever the case may be. This is where I needed to pay attention, to focus. I was in the storm. And when you're in the storm, you're not recognizing the way out of the storm because you're in the storm. But you're in the storm for a reason. You're in the storm so that you can see everything that's going on around you. You're in the storm so that you can pay attention to each little raindrop that's falling down. You're in the storm so you can pay attention to how the wind is blowing. You're in the storm so you can see the debris that's going past you. Because a storm, think about a storm when it rains. A storm is washing away the things that need to be let go of. And sometimes when you're in the storm, an emotional storm, and you're going through a psychological storm, everything that needs to be washed away has to come to the forefront. Just like when you take a glass of water and you start pouring water into it, and as you're pouring, the water begins to rise. And if it's something in the bottom of the cup, ice cubes, whatever, it's rising. It's going to rise all the way until it gets to the top. And once it gets to the top, if you keep pouring, it'll be an overflow. If you keep pouring, that the debris or the ice or whatever's in the cup, it's going to begin to fall out of the cup. It's going to begin to come out. So when you're crashing out, you're letting whatever is inside that has built up come out. You are in full expression of your true emotional, physical, psychological self. And that is imperative because sometimes you need to crash out to understand and know, whoa, wait a minute. This is where I was. This is what I was feeling. This is what I was going through. I need somebody to understand and recognize and see who I am and where I am and what I'm going through and what I'm feeling and be okay with it. Now, not all crash outs are great crash outs because a lot of times what happens is when we blow up on people or we go off and we do crazy things, there's always a consequence. There's always some kind of backlash that comes with it. So when you're crashing out, be mindful of your crashing out. Be mindful of your release. Be mindful of what you're saying and the process of you going through what you're going through. Because everything you're going through for a reason. Right? But be mindful of it because what you do and what you say always leaves a lasting impact on whoever was involved. And a lot of times, once we crash out and we blow up, a lot of times we feel remorse. Some people don't. Some people don't care. They're just over it. It is what it is. I said what I said. I meant what I said. And it is what it is. You're going to have to eat that. And I'm like that sometimes in certain situations. I said what I said. I meant what I said. I'm done. I'm not playing with you. You heard what I said. I meant what I said. I said what I said. I'm not taking my words back. No, I meant exactly what I said. Now, maybe God could have said it differently. But I meant exactly what I said the moment that I said it. Because a crash out, when you're crashing out, you are truly in your pure, authentic self. Your soul has reached a point where, look, it's time. Enough is enough. I'm over it. I can't take it no more. And I'm not going to. So you're blowing up because you have reached a point where your soul doesn't want to be in that predicament anymore. It's a wake-up call. It's like somebody ringing about. It's a wake-up call. It's an alarm. It's the reset button that lets you know, hey, it's time to stop doing this, to do it a different way, to start over. Okay? Oh, I got to pause for a second. I'm sorry. I digress. I apologize. The question I want to ask next is, how well do you listen to yourself? How well do you really know yourself? How well do you really know and understand who you are? How well do you hold space for you? How well do you really take the time to understand your feelings and your emotions, to regulate them? How well do you really get in tune with you? Because clearly, my son, right? The struggles, bro. He's crashing out over this video game. I'm so over video games. But it's funny because, like, we are gluttons for punishment. Like, my son right now, when you see him storm back and forth, he's mad about this game because he wants to play the game. He wants to enjoy the game. Yet he can't control what's happening in the game. And so he's upset about it. And he's yelling and he's screaming and he's shouting at the screen and he's shouting at the TV. And I'm like, bro, chill out. But it's relevant to life. We cannot control what happens to us in life. And it makes us yell and it makes us scream and it makes us shout. But if we take a step back and we calm down and we recognize and realize what's really going on, what's really happening, what is life really teaching us? What is life really showing us? What is it showing us about ourselves? And what is it showing us about the world around us? Are we in the right environment? Are we really listening to what's going on the inside? Are we honoring our feelings? Are we listening to our thoughts? Are we listening to what we're saying? Are we actually acting according to what we need? Or are we just moving just to be moving? Like, make it make sense. Like I said, it's okay to crash out, but why are you doing it? And when you're crashing out, and you blowing up, and you popping your top or flipping your lid or whatever you want to call it, flipping bird, whatever, are you cognizant and aware of what put you in that predicament or took you to that point in the first place? Were you focusing on you? Were you alert? Or were you just in it just to be in it? And sometimes we can't control the predicaments and situations that we're in. However, God never puts you in a room without giving you a window, a door, a crack, a crevice, or something to get out of. You always got a way out. He always awards you or gives you an out. So if you're given the out, do you take it? Or are you allowing yourself to be a glutton for punishment? So, like I said, I don't know what I'm going to label this video, but I felt like this needed to be said because when I say I've been going through this week, I've been going through this week. When I say it's been raining and pouring in my life right now, and the fact that I'm sitting here even making this video and smiling about the shit is a testament to faith. It's a testament to The struggle of life itself is a testament to my growth. It's a testament to the process that you got to go through to be the stronger individual that you become or that you are. The strongest individual that I know I am. Baby, but I say I've been through it. I've been through it. I've been homeless 5 times. I've lived in a car. I rode the bus from point A to point B because it was cold outside and I had nowhere to go. You feel me? I've been robbed. I've been molested. I've been raped. I've been domestically, assaulted. I've had so much stuff happen to me. It's not funny. You feel what I'm saying? I've done volunteer. I've helped this one. I've helped that one. I've been through so much. Yet I don't look at it as like, it's horrible. Oh my God. When you're going through it, yeah. It's like, why the flip is this happening to me? This some bullshit. When you're going through it. The great thing that I'm learning is that when you're going through it, okay, I'm going through it. But once I've gone through it and I'm done, I can look back and say, wow, I did that. I made it through that part. I made it through this much. I've come this far. Why would I give up now? So don't you give up. Don't you throw in the towel, no matter how much you want to. It reminds me of the story of Job, how like God and the devil apparently made a bet or they made a bet that to see how Job was gonna react, how Job was gonna respond. And he's like, I bet you I can steal your most, faithful person or whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And the devil and God said you can do whatever you want to do to him. I promise you he won't lose his faith. I promise you he's gonna return. And then Job did a lot of things. He's like, man, flip this. Why? Like he just didn't understand why. Like, why is this happening to me, man? Like, I don't deserve this. I'm a faithful servant. I listen to you. I respect you. I trust you. I honor you. Why you put me through this? How you put me through? I don't understand this. I don't want to do this no more, bro. I'm over it. I'm done. This is some BS, right? Even though he felt what he felt, he did not lose faith. He may have questioned, but he didn't lose faith. He still persevered. He still pressed on. He still trusted. He still believed. And that's what we have to do. We still have to trust and believe that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. That nothing happens for no reason. Everything that's happening to you is happening to you for a reason. I tell people all the time, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe that shit. No, it ain't no coincidence that this happened. This happened for a reason. It was a reason why I was in this place at this point, at this time, and this moment with this person or these persons or these people or whatever. It's a reason why I'm where I am at the point in time that I am there. It is a reason why you were in that predicament that you were in at the point in time that you were in that predicament. Because there is something there for you. And people are like, oh, that's a wrong place, wrong time. No. No. There is no such thing as wrong place, wrong time. You're there because you're supposed to be there. Either you didn't listen and you put yourself there, or you listened and you put yourself there. But there's something there that you're supposed to be learning. Now, unfortunately, sometimes people put themselves in predicaments and they wind up losing their lives. Or they wind up experiencing things they felt like they shouldn't have had to experience. However, in the midst of it, it's still a lesson. It's still something positive that can come from it. There's always something positive that can come from anything negative that happens to you or through you or towards you. It's up to you to open your eyes to perceive it the right way. So, how are you perceiving your life? How are you perceiving your circumstances and your situations and the decisions and choices that you chose to make? A lot of times we real quick to get mad, point the finger at other people. Oh, they did this to me, she did this to me, she did this to me. And we're going, what part did you play in it? And then, not only what part did you play in it, how can we flip this so it's great? How can we make it great? So, like my son, I told you he had an episode this week. He tried to hurt himself at school. I'm just like, bro, what's going on? Like, it broke me. It took me to a place just like, yo, I don't understand. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to help him. What I learned was, oh, you have to spend time with him. You have to talk to him. It's teaching me to remember the importance of a relationship and a bond. It's teaching me to understand my own feelings. It's teaching me to teach him to understand his feelings, to love himself, to honor himself, to respect himself, to listen to himself, to take a deep breath and calm down, right? It's teaching me to understand like a trigger. And what is a trigger and why a trigger is important? Why do triggers come up? Why do triggers happen? Triggers are to help to expose the things of the dark, the shadows, so you can heal. And a lot of people don't want to heal. They don't want to do the work. They quick to point the finger and blame somebody else. But remember, when you're pointing the finger at somebody else, you got all those fingers pointing back at you. So I'm going to end this message right here because I just feel like I say what I needed to say. And yes, it was a lot. And maybe it jumped over the place. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But I pray that what I spoke on today makes perfect sense and that it reaches somebody and it helps somebody. And I pray that, you know, I'm being a blessing to somebody because, baby, when I tell you there was people being a blessing to me, yeah. So, to Donald's help be true. I'm sending you peace, love, and light. I share me and Minister. Peace.